Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I am here today to announce a readathon for the month of November. As we all know, many people across the world read non-fiction during November. You don't have to read only non-fiction, but whatever non-fictions you read during this month, you tag them as non-fiction November, and at least that's how I interpret it. And I feel like I need to get in on this and I need to participate. But I have been wanting to do a non-fiction readathon for a while now, and I thought what better a time to do it than in non-fiction November. So this readathon will also be called DramaQueenAthon. So if you are participating, if you are posting about it on Instagram or Twitter, then please use the hashtag DramaQueenAthon. I would love to see your posts, your thoughts, what books you are reading, and everything related to DramaQueenAthon that you are doing. The rules for this readathon are very simple because, as you know, I like to keep my readathon simple without any stress to the people who are participating, to you guys. So what I have done is I have 3 rules for this readathon. First up is that you have to read at least 2 non-fiction books across the span of this month. The second rule is that one of these authors has to be Indian and the other has to be an international author. Like, it's a compulsion. Like, you have to choose at least one Indian and one international author. No two ways about it. The third rule is that at least one of these authors has to be a woman. That's it. Those are the 3 rules that you need to follow, and if you follow these, you're set for the entirety of November. It doesn't matter if you read 2 books or 20 books. If you follow these rules, then you're set for this entire readathon, but you have to read at least 2 books. So that's the topmost rule over there. So now that I have explained the rules to you, they are pretty simple. You can follow them blindly. Now it's on to my TBR for the readathon as well as for the entire month. And this time I have been a little smart. I've kept my brain and not pushed like 27 books into my November TBR, because I know that it's not gonna happen. But without further ado, let's get into this video and let me share with you the books that I want to read in November 2020. First up, the books for the readathon. I've chosen 2 books, as I've said that I would. And these won't be the only non-fiction books in my November TBR, but I have kept my brain intact and chosen only 2 books, all of them following the rules of the readathon. And the books that I've chosen for the readathon are Being Reshma by Reshma Qureshi and Tanya Singh. This is the story of an acid attack survivor, Reshma Qureshi, and I have been meaning to read this for a long time. I did add this to a number of my TBRs, if you remember. I think it was earlier this year that I just kept on adding it and then I never got to it. But I feel like this is a good time to start reading this book. And then there is Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by Lori Gottlieb. This is a non-fiction book. This is about the author herself, I think. Like, I've read this a million times in previous TBRs, but I still can't remember, except that I know that this is related to mental health, and this is about the author, who is a psychotherapist and a national advice columnist. A hilarious, thought-provoking and surprising new book that takes us behind the scenes of a therapist's world. When a personal crisis causes her world to come crashing down, Lori Gottlieb, an experienced therapist with a thriving practice in Los Angeles, is suddenly adrift. Enter Wendell, himself a veteran therapist with an unconventional style, whose sessions with Gottlieb will prove transformative for her. This has always sounded interesting to me, and I did not even have to read the blurb because the title itself says a lot. Because so far in this world, people have always been like, you'll get over it, you're just sad. But nobody ever says, maybe you should talk to someone. So the title of this book was enough to, pull me towards it, but sadly I haven't been able to read it yet. So I hope November will change that. So we have 2 non-fiction books, 1 Indian author, 1 international author. Both of these are women. I will be reading these 2 for the what? For the readathon, DramaQueenAthon. Okay, so next up is the subscriber pick for the month of November. I had you guys select a book way in advance because I took a break. I'm in the middle of the break right now as you watch this video. So the book that you chose for me to read and review is Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. This was on the list of books that I wanted to read in 2019, but I ended up not reading it. And I had added it to a number of TBRs, just like so many others you'll find on this list. And I thought, okay, November, let's just make my subscribers make me read this book. So I added this to the list and you delivered. So yes, expect a reading vlog come video review of this book. Maybe late November, early December. And this is also a non-fiction book, so I can just add it to the list of my readathon picks. Okay, next up are 2 books from the 20 books I want to read in 2020 list. And the first one is Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Edo Lodge. I was supposed to have read this in June, but I didn't get to it somehow because that was not a great time for me, even though my book released during that month. If you've not checked that out, I leave the link in the description box below. Please go and show me some love. Please, I need it. Anywho, this is on the 20 books I want to read in 2020 list, but I haven't gotten to it yet. So I thought I'm going to use November to read this book. I understand why the author named the book this way, because sometimes it gets really exhausting to keep explaining things and people not understanding things about race. And I feel like reading this will give me an insight into why this author is just completely given up. I don't need an explanation for it because I know, I understand, but I still want to read it. I still want to know explicitly what the author has to say. Next up is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is on the 20 books list and I haven't yet read it. I was so excited when this came out. This is supposed to be a dark academia. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think this is dark academia, and I was so excited to read this, but somehow it fizzled out for some reason. I have no idea why. But since I made a commitment to myself, I will be reading this book. November will make sure that I read this and don't make a fool of myself like I did the past couple of years. No. Next up are the publisher reviewer copies, and a big thanks to all the publishers for sending me these books. First on this list is Essential Items by Udayan Mukherjee. This was sent to me by Bloomsbury India. Thank you, Bloomsbury, for the copy. I'm so excited to read it. This also looks like an easy read because the font is huge. Look at the font, and I feel like I will be able to finish this in like a matter of hours. But Essential Items is not just the title of the book. It also says, the tagline says, and other tales from a land in lockdown. There's a lot to process, a lot to unpack, so I'm really excited to read this. Once again, thank you, Bloomsbury, for sending me this book. Next up is a book that I added to a couple of my previous TBRs, and that is Mohini the Enchantress by Anuja Chandramouli. This was sent to me by Rupa Publications. Thank you, Rupa Publications and the author, for sending me this book. Anuja Chandramouli has such a wonderful grip on mythology. Mohini the Enchantress, who is distilled from the essence of Vishnu, a part of him, and yet she revels in the autonomy and extraordinary powers of beauty, magic and enchantment that are hers to wield. She is loved and desired by all in existence, and yet she is elusive, a tantalizing temptress, traipsing her way through the topsy-turvy terrain of fable and myth. Okay, Mohini's meandering path will set her in the thick of things as the Devas and Asuras try to get their hands on Amrita, the next nectar of immortality. See, I have read the blurb before, and as I was reading it right now, I was getting like vague recollections, but I'm really excited to read this one. Next up is a book that Pan Macmillan India sent me a long time ago, it feels like, and I ought to have read it by now, and I ought to have put up a review and all by now, and I even found a bookmark in it. And the book I'm talking about is Wasted by Ankur Bisen. The cover also shows the same thing. Like, there's so much plastic waste. We are killing the earth. And this book talks about the messy story of sanitation in India, a manifesto for change. And I feel like this is going to be an informative book, and I am really excited to read it. And not just because of the fact that this is non-fiction, but also because of the fact that it promises so much. It promises so much knowledge, so much information. Next up is the DramaQueenAthon book club pick, and that for this month is The Humans by Matt Haig. And I don't want to say anything else. I'm content because it's Matt Haig and we will be reading as a group, and I'm sure that I will love this book. And I can only say that about Matt Haig's books, I feel like. And Nikita Gill also, but that's a whole other different video idea. But yes, I've actually ordered this book. It's on its way. I think by the time this video goes up, it will be home, I think. I don't remember when it's coming, but it will be here and I'm so excited. Next up is a NetGalley arc, and one that I've already added to a few TBRs, and that is Suncatcher by Romesh Gunasekara. And I'm not going to talk much about this because it feels like at this point every book on this list has been added by me onto a number of my TBRs a number of times. So what even can I say? I just want to look at my TBR and say it's not you, it's me, because it's true. Next up are the LibraFM ALCs. The first is The Pull of the Stars by Emma Donoghue. This is supposed to be a historical fiction set in wartime, and I'm really excited to read it. I added it to my September TBR, I think. And then to Sleep in a Sea of Stars came along, and that went out the window. The next book is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. This, I don't exactly know which genre this fits into. I think it's fantasy. I'm not sure. Yeah, there is forbidden magic in here, so I think you could call it fantasy. What the book description on Goodreads says is that this is the first in the Between Earth and Sky trilogy, inspired by the civilizations of the pre-Columbian Americas and woven into a tale of celestial prophecies, political intrigue, and forbidden magic. What else do I have to say? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But I do want to say a big thank you to LibraFM for giving me these ALCs, for giving me the chance to read such amazing books. I'm forever grateful. And the last book is part of a secret project which will go up next week, and I'm really excited for you to see that secret project that I have going. That's all I'll say. But yeah, so that was my November 2020 TBR and the Nonfiction Readathon, DramaQueenAthon. Do let me know if you like this video, if you like the concept of this readathon. Will you be participating in it? What are the books that you will choose to read during this readathon? What books are you planning to read in November? Did you like this video? Did you not like this video? I might have repeated it, but I might have not either. But what are your thoughts? What are you currently reading? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.